Please, we are asking one of our panelists, Dr. Queen Blessing Itua, to remain for a reading from her new book, which was mentioned, the title being, "We Are the Blessings of Africa." But before she does that, let me just mention that Dr. Queen Blessing Itua is an author and a strong advocate for women's empowerment, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. By the way, her book, "We Are the Blessings of Africa," is available for download on Amazon, and the launch is here tonight. She also makes the call for the empowerment of women as a critical first step in empowering not just a woman, but the family, the community, the city, the country, and the continent of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you afresh Dr. Queen Blessing Itua.
We are the blessings of Africa. Africa is pregnant with potential. The potential is the natural resources and her talented people, male and female, of African origin in the world. Africa's time is now. She awaits a midwife who will aid in the birth of her greatness. We are the midwives that will bring about this vital delivery. To enjoy African blessings, we must acknowledge and appreciate that Africa is sitting on gold mines. And Africa should not be poor. Africa's gold mine is her offsprings. You and I are the gold mines. We must each see ourselves as the powerful blessings able to change our narratives. We are not helpless people relying on aid. We must also acknowledge that Africa is rich with natural resources, yet poor because we have not harnessed the gold mines. We have not valued or harnessed our collective strengths and talents. And we have not rid the motherland of gender inequality, poverty, corruption, greed, and underdevelopment. In a nutshell, Africa has what it takes. You and me and African natural resources. Africa has what it takes to change her narratives and to birth her greatness. To change Africa's current rich but poor status, we must eventually, or individually and collectively, have a change in our usual way of thinking and of doing things. We cannot rely on the government and men alone. We must replace the domineering and oppressive attitude with inclusiveness by investing in our women. Women must be empowered to take their seat at the table when decisions that affect their lives, their families, and their communities are being made. Like men, women are talented, and they possess the characteristics and qualities that will bring about the transformational leadership that Africa requires to rebut her greatness. We must embrace diversity and create an enabling environment, an atmosphere that dignify others. We must respect our individual differences, and we must empower our youths and women by investing in economic empowerment and education that promotes critical thinking, innovation, creativity, among other strategies. We must also harness the diverse blessings and see the advantages that both men, women, and even the youth provide. Men and women are to complement or should complement each other. That is what will lead Africa to prosperity. Together, we can win the war against poverty, malnutrition, consumerism, appetite, mismanagement, ignorance, corruption, dependency attitude, conflicts, and violence. Real men appreciate, support, and empower women to work with them. African men everywhere must be helped to appreciate the wisdom in Kofi Annan's wise words that there is no effective development strategy in which women do not play a central role. More countries have understood that women's equality is a prerequisite for development. So these wise words did not stem from ignorance or a domineering ego, but from the depth of an educated, civilized, real blessing of Africa, who has been diligent in paying attention to what works in our evolved world. Advocating for women inclusion is not advocating for women to compete or fight against men. Women advocacy is to empower the women to engagement. Women cannot leave men on the job or on the issues affecting all of us. When women are fully involved, only then can we truly make good progress in preventing or even eradicating poverty. Empower a woman, you empower the family. Empower a woman, you empower the community, the city, country, and the continent for sustainable development and greatness. Remember that a better Africa and a healthier world is achievable when we work together as a team. So, what does it really mean to be the blessing of Africa? It means that we each see ourselves as the ones responsible for making Africa a great place to live. As the children of Africa, it is our job to impact our motherland positively. We are the blessings of Africa is not just a declaration. It is something that we must all become if we want to enjoy African blessings. Women are the heartbeat of the family and of the community. Women must step into their critical roles in family and nation building. Empowered woman knows her responsibility, and a real empowered woman knows and values her worth. She rises to support and train the youth and train the youth with poise and dignity. Women have motherly instincts, and real mothers nurture their children and create a sustainable means for livelihood for today and in the future. Remember that the child that you take care of today and the youth that you empower today will take care of you tomorrow at your old age. When we empower women economically, we can tackle many issues, including youth issues and unemployment, with ease. So in conclusion, I call on the empowerment of women as a means to empower families, communities, cities, countries, and ultimately the entire African continent and our world. The time is now for the African women to rise up together to development. Women must learn to work together, leaving no other women behind, especially the ones in the rural communities or the marginalized ones. Women should support each other, especially the victimized, voiceless women. Women must model healthy living for young women. It is time for African women to take the mantle of leadership in partnership, not in competition with the men. It is time to empower our men so that more African men can see women as equals, not relegated to the kitchen and not reserved for procreation only. It is time to develop our young girls, who are our tomorrow's responsible mothers. Young girls must not be seen as objects to be used as sex slaves or even victimized to dependency. It is time to develop our young boys alike, because our young boys will be our responsible men of tomorrow. So we must embrace and change, because change begins with each and every one of us. We must appreciate our diversity. Diversity is a thing of beauty, and we are stronger together. Women are a powerful agent of change. Empower a woman to get involved in politics and community affairs. Empower a woman, and the issues of sex trafficking, domestic violence, abuse, impoverishment, and abandonment will be tackled with ease. We must also appreciate the purpose for which and for why we were born as Africans in Africa, or as African descendants outside of Africa. We are not an accident of nature born in Africa, nor is Africa caused to remain poor. No. We are born to be a blessing to our Maker, ourselves, our family, and our continent. When we live to fulfill our purpose for which and for why we were born in Africa or as African descendants, our lives will be better for it. So be empowered to enrich and reshape the motherland. And I guarantee you that if we each learn to see ourselves as the blessings of our own communities, and if we appreciate that we are stronger together, our communities and our lives will be better for it. We are the blessings of Africa, reshaping our motherland to greater heights. Thank you.
We thank you very much, Dr. Queen Blessing Itua. Thank you, and thank you. Another round of applause for Dr. Itua, please.